Right, guys, so we have the Seven of Cups coming up. This is about figuring out which dream is worth pursuing, which dream isn't. As simple as that. It's Cups energy. I find this very kind of an energy that you guys probably resonate with, but very kind of rationalizing, analyzing, looking at the details of the situation. Now, that's not very Cups-like, but it is. That seems more Swords, right? Kind of trying to figure out, what am I doing here? How do I think about this? But it's not asking you what you think about it. It's asking you how you feel about it. How do you feel about each of the options that are being presented to you? So there can be a sense of, this is too good to be true. This is a fantasy. I'm just building castles in the sky, or there's something that you truly want, but then a part of you knows that, why do I even want this? Maybe I just like the idea of the dream of this, but I don't actually like, what I'm actually going for. Now, whatever it is, whatever the option is, and I think for a lot of you, it's the fact that this week you pick the dream, or you pick one of those options. You do that very kind of beautiful Virgo thing that you guys do, which is you will take whatever was the dream and you're going to start building it and mixing it. And, it's all being churned now into like this cement for a foundation. Like, you're starting to build something out of it now. No more is it a castle in the sky. No more is it just a fantasy or a dream. But the underlying energy of this, I kind of guess you're being reminded not to forget the dream. Because as much as we, it can't stay a dream, right? To get anything to be real. And you guys know this better than anyone. I have a Virgo moon, so I'm not judging anyone. But, we can get so caught up in the practical and the details of what we're actually trying to do. The physical reality of it, what we own, what we have, what are we doing? What are the actions that we're taking to make this reality? We can forget the dream, the reason that we wanted it in the first place, why it was emotionally fulfilling. And I kind of feel like if you're in the middle of building something or working towards something, this week is a reminder for that. And it might even be that you go into this week feeling that way. I'm doing these a little early because I want to miss the eclipse on Saturday. But we have the Page of Cups coming up here at the heart of your reading. He's picked a cup. He's picked a cup. So, with all of these cups that were here, he picked one. But what's in his cup? There's a little fish in there. Now, that for me, this is the beginning. Pages are very similar to aces, and you have an ace here as well. They are about, it's a small offering, it's, yes, pages are messages or offers that come in, but it's something small and it needs to be nurtured. In this case, that little fish can't survive. It can't live in that cup forever. It must be nurtured. It must be grown. It must be, taken care of. And that's kind of like, whatever your emotion is right now, it needs to be kind of, not just grown. There's another word that I'm looking for here and it's kind of escaping me right now. We'll see if it comes in, but it is about nurturing the dream, guys. It needs nurturing, it needs watering, it needs feeding, it needs all of those wonderful things. The dream aspect of it, not just the physical aspect of it. Because have a look, we have all this kind of emotional energy with cups coming in here, the underlying and at the heart of the reading. But the past, we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is planning. This is maybe talking to people, compromising, seeing how we're going to work together. What are we going to do here? This could be a card of recognition when the work that you've done, it's recognized for how, good it is if this is a work reading for you. But even in relationships, this is like, okay, let's get our heads together. How are we going to buy the house? Or how are we going to save up for the wedding? Or, it's that kind of energy where you work together and you put together a plan of action. So the practical stuff's been done here. The very kind of physical reality, that's Pentacles. The Pentacles always are physical representations or tangible representations of security and stability and support and all of those wonderful things. And threes to me are like the foundations that we have, the beginnings of whatever it is that we're trying to do. But then we have the Ace of Pentacles here. Why do I get the sense that no matter what you guys planned here, when you kind of tap back, I think there's a sense of, you had this kind of dream or this emotion, whether it was like it's love for someone. This can be the puppy love card sometimes. And I don't mean puppy love as in the love isn't real. It's just that what you're feeling, it's the initial stages of the feeling where it needs to be grown, it needs to be nurtured. And I kind of feel like you were making plans based on that. But when you've kind of gone back and looked at why you made the choices that you made, what was the reason you wanted this dream? That you had this goal? What was the reason for it? And it kind of feels like maybe because, too many cooks spoil the broth or whatever it was. you kind of found that you've gone in a different direction from what you initially intended. So for some of you, it feels like you go back, you know, not in a bad way. I don't mean that this is like scrap it all, let's just go. There's a, it's almost like new seeds are being planted, maybe to enhance the ones that are already there. But with the Ace of Pentacles, this is starting anew. A new foundation's going down. It's more, because it's a 3, this is still the beginning stages. And I kind of feel like you're like, no, we've gone the wrong way. We've gone the wrong way. This wasn't what we intended. This wasn't the plan. And I say we because the we is there. But the Ace of Pentacles, that's your pentacle, what you're offering into this. Now, this might be an injection of money that changes the project or, you know, the business. This could be doing something completely new. Like the dream is still there, you know, to have the relationship or buy the house or whatever. But it's like, well, you know what? If I just take a new job, that will change things up. Something completely different. New way of earning money. The Ace of Pentacles can show that. I always say the Ace of Pentacles is my favorite ace, especially to begin a relationship with, because this is solid. It's solid. You know, emotions are all well and good, but this is, how do we build something solid, something real world here, something that we can see, feel and touch, that will stand the test of time. You know, we don't want this just kind of like flash in the pan kind of energy of, ooh, this is great now, it's emotionally satisfying now, but it's building on that. There's very much a kind of building, long-term stability coming in on this. It's big. I know it doesn't feel big, but have a look. You've only got one major arcana card here. Only one major arcana. The rest of it is all minor, and that's all coming from you. It's all coming from you. And so when that kind of energy kicks in, especially this combination, you might be feeling it. You're not stressed out about it. I'll give you that, Virgo. You're handling it with, you know, grace here. You're not crumbling under this. You're trying to put the pieces together in a better way. It's like, you know, this foundation, and it's not falling apart yet. That's what I'm getting. That's the kind of weird thing about this, because the 3 of Pentacles is solid. You know, it's not falling apart, but something, I don't know, your spidey sense has gone off about something, and it's like, you know, we need to redo this, or something just needs to be redone here. However, I will say this. Well, actually, it makes sense now. Why? What's made your spidey sense go off? Something has. Because there is a tough decision to make. And I want to be clear on one thing. And again, no judgment, because I do this. I have a Virgo moon sign and I'm very familiar with this. You know, sometimes when you know that there's a decision to be made. Or I don't know, the freezer needs defrosting or something, right? No, let's not pick the freezer. Let's say something like your taxes. You need to do your taxes. But it's all of a sudden, yes, defrosting the freezer seems like the most important thing in the world. Or, you know, descaling the kettle or making sure the oven's clean. And it's like, no. And I'm not trying to do typical kind of Virgo stereotypes. It's just an example. That those are jobs that nobody wants to do, right? But it's almost like, because you don't want to do your taxes, it's a great way to procrastinate. But you kind of fix it. The thing is, whatever you're using to procrastinate or to build or to secure your future, it's amazing. It's great, you know, and it works out well for you. It's a new beginning here. But whatever that decision is that you're trying to avoid, and it might be something emotional, we have with the 2 of Swords here, some conflict that you're trying to avoid, or, you know, an argument, or just 2 conflicting ideas that you have, they must be confronted at some point. But it's great because your house will look fabulous if you're using that example with what this is. Whatever it is that you're focusing on, relationship, work, business, projects, anything, they're going to look amazing because of this. But you still can't avoid that decision that needs to be made with the 2 of Swords coming up. But you knew that, right? You knew that was never going to be avoided. However, I will say this. I don't think you're wrong to do all of this other stuff. Why? Because the Page of Cups is sat above the 2 of Swords. In fact, I kind of feel that if you weren't sure how you felt about it, going through the motions here, because nothing's really fragmented, everything's linked in our lives, right? Going through all of this, it will actually help you to understand, you know, why you don't want to make that decision, or what this is all about. What is all this about? Let's get you one for that. Because we have Strength coming up here as the advice, and Strength does say courage. You have the courage to do this. Why do you need courage though? What is this decision about? Let's get you a card for that. I've been trying not to do clarifiers this week because I've just got so many videos to do in such a short time, but when a card like that comes up, We must know. Why is the Two of Swords there? It's about some truth, obviously, but it's about speaking your truth. Now, it may be about an air sign. So we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but the signs don't own the cards. And anyone can have these qualities. So have a look. She has her one sword of truth. This person has two swords. And they don't want to see something, and it's almost like, well, we can try to make these two truths work, can't we? No, we can't. You can't. Because you've gone back and you've built a solid foundation. You've retweaked it. You've re-looked at the dream. You've re-looked at how you feel. You've done all of that. You've looked at the cups. You've looked at the pentacles, the kind of solid real world aspects of this. So hearts covered, great. Real world covered, great. Logic with the thoughts behind all of this. The truth behind all of this. This is communication. I kind of feel like with the Two of Swords, there's something that maybe you've been avoiding saying to someone. It can't be avoided anymore. You have a new truth now. You have a new dream maybe, but you have a new truth no matter what. And that's what it is. That's what's really going to propel this forward. Because we're still at the beginning stages. Have a look. We've got aces. That's the 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have the 7 of cups here, but it's all kind of beginning stages, especially with the page. To get this to mature, to go forward. There's some truth, and it might be unpleasant, that needs to be spoken, that needs to be communicated. But you have the courage to do it. You have the strength coming up here. This is the fire element. You've actually got a really balanced reading because this is the card for Leo. So there is fire here as well. And this is about bringing out your inner passion, saying it. There doesn't have to be an argument. I think maybe that's why this is coming up as a future energy, because you see it turning into an argument. That someone's not going to like it, or they're not going to want to they're not going to want to know your truth or hear your truth about whatever it is that you're feeling. But they will, especially if you kind of bring it across whoever this person is, whether it's a group of people, family, your partner, a love prospect, whatever. I feel like you've worked with them before, or you've planned stuff before. Maybe that's what the truth is about, that this just doesn't work. Maybe we need to do this. It's kind of strange because that's even Leo got something similar, that everyone seems to be coming into some kind of solid truths in themselves, but it's about how to kind of roll them out now into the real world and, with other people. And that's kind of what's coming up here. But you can do it. Strength is amazing. Strength says you have the strength to overcome any obstacles. You don't need to argue. You don't need to get extra passionate or, even like use brute force. You can just say it clearly. Here we go. The union of hearts. There is a connection of love that defies explanation. And that's just it. When something defies explanation, it can be difficult to explain it. It can be difficult to explain it. Especially if you're having to explain, because don't forget the Page of Cups is here. This is how you feel. It's for some of you, one of the ways that this energy can play out is you've worked with someone, you've been trying to keep it as a work thing. You might even have brought up a different kind of project to work with this person again. But the thing is, you don't want to work with them. You want more with them. You want to explore emotions with this person. So do you see how the energies can play out so differently for everyone depending on what that situation is? Sometimes it can be that you're being reminded there's a union of hearts here. Why would they get annoyed with you even if your truth isn't in line with their truth? Something that you can work out together if there's a union of hearts there. Don't forget we kicked off with cups, with emotions. You've got to, the other thing that I'm kind of seeing here, look. The other thing that I'm seeing here is this has to stand for something. Whatever this Three of Pentacles, whatever this plan of action is, has to stand for something. And it's asking you to take courage from this, because the Strength card sits beneath this. Look, we have new life coming. I love this card. So beautiful. Just look at the colours. She's hatching out of her egg. And that's what you're doing. You're kind of running around like this kind of headless chicken here, trying to get this new life off the ground, right? With the Ace of Pentacles coming in. The dream. It's not too good to be true. But you pick, what does your new life look like? With whom, right? There is a new life here. You're ready to hatch. But there just feels like there's that one decision or this or whatever it is. Whatever those two swords are. One sword will come out of it, the sword of truth. And you'll be better off for it. You know, you can, but it's the truth about a feeling, how someone feels. That's what kind of is coming up here. But a beautiful card, guys. And this, like I said, it's that new energy is coming up with the Ace, the Two of Swords, the Three of Pentacles. This is all foundation level. I mean, it's started. There's new life. It has started. Oh gosh, dropped a card. All right. Strange. So if I just read the first line and it's to do with this energy here. It says, dear you, what is true for you? Can you be impeccable with your word? Sure you can. As long as it's not used to manipulate others, the truth can set everyone free. Let go of the results, let go of your fears, and allow the truth to empower you and others. Guys, isn't that exactly what this is? This is about that truth, speaking that truth. This will set into motion a kind of change that will be supportive of you and loving and all kinds of prosperous. This is not a time to compromise and hide your truth from others. Excuse me. Whatever it is you want, go for it and be clear in your motives, especially with yourself. You'll be so happy you did. This is a time where you will tap into the power to co-create and manifest your best life. Doesn't that feel amazing? And the results, miraculous. When you tell the truth and ask the same of others, you can learn a lot from life's bountiful lessons and achieve your dreams. Love you always. So amazing, amazing. I love it. I love the postcards and Spirit. That's one of the reasons, because they, more often than not, they will tap into exactly what the reading was about. And that's what this is about. No matter what the rest of this stuff is. And I mean, this almost is unnecessary. As a reader, I have to look at, why is it even coming up? You've got this. You've got the plan for it. You're restarting this. You know what your dreams look like. You've picked a cup. Like, it's like, it seems unnecessary. So when I'm reading this, I'm thinking, well, why is Virgo doing that? If Virgo knows what their dream is, if Virgo knows how they feel about it, if they've got a plan of action, if they're starting something new, and then it was like, okay. So all of that is to kind of, because there's a truth that has to be spoken, a decision that must be made. It's about this feeling, whatever it is, maybe to do with other people. Well, at least one other person. It's about standing in your truth, but you have the strength to do it. Do you see that? And yeah, it's going to play out for each of you in a different area of your life. But never forget the Queen of Swords. What do I always say about the Queen of Swords? Damaged people are dangerous. They know they can survive. And with her, she doesn't just plan to survive. She plans to thrive. You can too. You have the courage to do this. You have the courage to overcome any obstacle. So it's time, guys, to remove the blindfold and put down one of those swords so you can step forward into this new life.